To the webinar on the CIM Marketing and Leadership Programme, which is the new Level 7. I'm hoping everyone can hear me. My colleague Lauren is sitting next to me and she will be typing answers to questions if you ask them as we go through, and we do have plenty of time for questions at the end. Please do feel to ask as many questions as you wish. This is your chance to find out as much as we can tell you at the moment about the CIM Marketing Leadership Programme. I'm Kiran Kapoor, I'm the CEO of the college and also one of the tutors here. I thought we'd just start with a brief bit about who the Cambridge Marketing College is. Bear with me, it is only the one slide, and then we will go straight into the Marketing and Leadership Programme. We have been around for 25 years. We started in 1991. With just a few students, and 25 years later we're now international. Last year we ran classes in 6 countries around the world, both Europe and in Asia. And we have a reputation for excellence. Last year 99% of our students said they would recommend us. And we do have exceptional pass rates. I'm actually showing April on there, but in fact I've actually quoted April in the bullets, but the pass rates shown in the graph at the bottom actually are our pass rates for across 2016. And we've had, in fact, we've now had another 10 commendations since this slide was done, so we've now had 109 CIM commendations for excellent student support and results. So let's talk a little bit about the CIM Marketing Leadership Programme. This replaces the current CIM postgraduate diploma. They've moved to calling it a programme as CIM Tellers because there was confusion about people taking the CIM diploma and then taking a postgraduate diploma. So they wanted to get away from the phrase diploma, and they've come up with a marketing leadership programme. I do want to stress, and the CIM will tell you this, and so I'm sure will any other study centre, that it is based on extensive research. The CIM did engage with a wide variety of employers. They went from multinational companies down to much smaller companies. They spoke to senior marketing professionals and they interviewed the wider business community. They did it by survey, also by one-to-ones and by focus groups. And what they found is that there is a growing need for organisations to operate responsibly. And as we all know, it's a very challenging business environment. And let's face it, Donald Trump being put in the United States probably isn't going to make it any less challenging for a while. And for those of us in the UK, we're still coping with Brexit. So the idea is the programme that it has to provide skills that experienced marketers need to have to improve business impact. So it's more than just a set of skills for the marketer. It should help the marketers to move into senior management. That's very much the level this has been pitched at. And it should help you actually have an impact on the business, on the bottom line. And it will support marketing professionals to lead change within the organisation and to give them skills and knowledge to thrive in a customer-orientated organisation across all sectors. So the intention is, whereas the certificate gives you a grounding in marketing, the diploma gives you information and tools to use, this one allows you not only to grasp those tools but also to use them very strategically. So this isn't for a marketing executive wanting to use those tools day by day. It is for a manager, an executive who's ready to take the step up to management and senior management, and it should give you cross-company skills and the ability to apply those. So let's actually introduce the programme to you. It is for experienced marketers and consultants. The CIM are very clear that they are looking for people that are already experienced to make them better and stronger and more senior. By the end of the course, you would be able to identify external and internal influences that are likely to become future drivers. So we're looking very much strategically in the future, looking at changes that are coming in. To work out the key influences, most importantly to apply strategic thinking, and the bit that always catches companies out. It's all very well having these great, wonderful strategic ideas and these great, wonderful, innovative things that you want to bring in. You have to have the organisational resources to support and deliver these. And speaking as someone who very recently became a CEO, it's one of the big things you notice as you move up more seniorly up the organisation, that you have these great plans, but you have to have the resources to back you. So it is for experienced marketers aspiring to work at a strategic or management level, and want to back up their expertise and refresh their marketing knowledge. And most interestingly for this new programme, and this is where it's very different from the current postgraduate diploma, we have one module that is aimed specifically at marketing consultants. So consultants that want professional recognition and want status, whether they are working in a large organisation who often have internal consultants, or whether they're working as independent business owners, which is where we know a lot of our current students want to eventually be. Please do type in questions as we go through. As I said, my colleague Lauren is sitting next to me, more than happy to answer them, but there will be plenty of time at the end to ask individual questions as well. So here on the slide is the actual programme itself. There are 4 modules in total. You have to take 2 mandatory and 1 of 2 possible electives. So the mandatory modules are contemporary challenges, leading business change, and I will take you through each of those modules more slowly in a moment. And then the elective modules are either consultancy or managing business growth. And when you've taken and passed all 3 of those modules, you get the CIM Marketing Leadership Programme and the ability to write DIP-M after your name. Alternatively, rather than take the whole qualification, you can take it by individual module. And then you would get an award in contemporary challenges, or an award in leading change, an award in consultancy, or an award in managing business growth. Each module is distinct and self-contained. There is no real time limit. I think there's a maximum time limit of signing up and taking it is about 10 years. So it would be perfectly possible to do 1 award and then come back a year or so later to do another award, and then come back later on to do a 3rd award, and then finally, and having achieved that, get the whole qualification. I'm going to talk you through a little bit about the individual modules. If you're studying with each module, because these modules can be taken in any order, you will find that different study centres may offer different modules at different times. Only 6 study centres across the UK, in fact in the entire world, because we're launching in the UK, are allowed to offer the Marketing Leadership Programme at the moment. The CIM will review that towards the end of next year, but from January there are only 6 colleges that you can study this at. The Cambridge Marketing College will start with Contemporary Challenges as the first mandatory module. The idea of this module is that it allows marketers to identify key influences that will affect future drivers of the organisation and look at the potential impact of emerging contemporary marketing challenges and supply strategic thinking to develop those future strategies. Each module will take round about 6 months to study. Each module is 200 hours of learning. That includes face-to-face, private study, obviously directed by the college as to what we recommend that you read and study, and there are videos and also podcasts, and working together to put the final assignment together. The other mandatory module is Leading Change. I'm then going to talk through a little bit more about the qualification itself, and then I'll come back to the last 2 modules. So the Leading Change module points out that the key aspect of a senior marketer's role is leading and managing change within an organisation. So this module enables you to meet the challenges of change through providing a platform for supporting future responses to change, harnessing the organisational potential and creating sustainable innovation. Over the course of the module, you'll understand how organisations' assets can be managed to build and sustain a clear market position, to guide and support and implement market-led change within an organisation. So it's very, very change-based and change-related. So Entry criteria for the qualification. You need a level 6. That basically means a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, or the CIM diploma in marketing, which is also considered a level 6. You need to have evidence of career progression, both past, present and future. Because the CIM want this aimed at senior marketers, it isn't sufficient to say, I've been working in an organisation, I've been a marketing assistant and a marketing exec. You have to show that you are clearly moving through the organisation, or that you have moved organisations and gained more experience. There are lots of ways of showing a career progression, but there has to be a progression. You need to have experience working at a marketing management role. If you don't have that, you will struggle to do the assignments, which is why that is a requirement. You need to have a current role that is sufficient to allow you to engage with the assessment tasks. And if you are not a native English speaker, the college will insist on an IELTS score or IELTS or equivalent score of 7 and above. That is pretty much fluent. The college will start the first module by classes in Cambridge. Our first module is Contemporary Challenges, which is on the 25th and 26th of February. This is a weekend course. It is a weekend residential course. We will be expecting people to stay on overnight and actually deal with dealing with a... Sorry, I've got a question coming which has slightly distracted me. We will be expecting people to work on a case study over the night, and we've written a case study specifically for this qualification. We will then support the training by webinars and by one-to-one tutor support. It's quite an intense qualification, and so webinars will allow us to take you through more material on top of the class, and then you will have a one-to-one tutor support to enable you to engage with the assessment tasks. Our second module, which we'll be teaching, will be in May, and that will be the other mandatory module, which is Leading Change. The intention of doing it that way is that you can take Contemporary Challenges in February. You will be able to take the assessments in either, they will then be able to take the first assessment in June 2017, or leave it until December 2017 if you feel you need more time. The second module is then scheduled for May, again allowing you to take the assessment in December. And I've already said module by module, at the end you can have an award, and then you can get the whole Marketing Leadership Programme, and you can put DIP M after your name. Right, assessments. There are, yes, the residential element will be included in the cost, because it will be a requirement of studying. The assessments are, as I said, three times a year: December, March and April and June. First assessment will be in June 2017. The assignments we haven't been given full details on by the CIM at the moment. However, what the CIM have told us is that they will be organisation based, and they are designed to allow you to address a specific real-life business issue. So, as we understand it, they will be slightly more open than the current assignments set for diploma and certificate, in that you'll be able to say, this is a contemporary challenge for my organisation, and therefore I want to write about this specific business issue, and work to, at the end of my assignment, be able to analyse the problem and have suggested recommendations. Clearly, you will not be required in a 6-month period to have implemented those recommendations. But that's why you will need a lot of one-to-one support from your tutor, because there will be an element of working with your tutor to both set up the assignment that you are going to start with, and then to work with your tutor to address the real-life business issue. So at the end of it, you should have a very useful piece of work rather than just an academic exercise. However, we are waiting for the CIM to produce some specimen assignments, so we know exactly what it is that the CIM will be looking for. How long will it take to study? It should be 6 months for each module of the course, and you should complete within around 18 months. However, we will supply support for 24 months because we appreciate that you're all working at that sort of level and therefore may require more time to study. The notional learning time is 200 hours per module, which is a substantial amount of work, and we suggest that you should be considering 10 hours per week. One of the questions that the CIM got asked a lot was, will this new qualification enable you to work towards a master's or an MBA? And the answer is yes, it does. It allows, each module has a credit value of 20 credits. So obviously if you take all 3, you get 60 credits. And those credits can be used as an accredited prior learning towards any other level 7 qualification, such as a master's degree. Before I go on to the key benefits, I promised I would cover a little bit more about the 2 elective modules. I thought if I went through it all together, it all got a bit too much. So I'm going to talk about the managing business growth and then finally the consultancy one. So managing business growth, funnily enough, looks at the key driver for marketing within an organisation and helps. The module is designed to help you create a structured and creative approach to determine where potential or existing opportunities for growth exist. And the intention of the module is that you start with a wider view of the organisation and then start within the assignment to focus down on a very specific area. And again, you should at the end of your assignment have quite a practical piece of work that you've done where you've analysed a problem and can put in recommendations for growth. And the final module, which is certainly one of the more unusual ones that CIM come up with, which is the idea of consultancy. So lots of marketers wish to become a consultant at some stage. Some of us have been a consultant for a while and then stopped being a consultant, certainly in my case. But there is nothing that actually, as a consultant, there's nothing that actually gives you an award that says, I am a reasonable person to potential clients. So having the consultancy award gives you a stamp of knowledge and academic understanding. So the consultancy module helps you to develop quite a wide range of insight into different marketing related issues, problems and different types of organisations. And it's designed to help you develop the skills required to build and develop client relationships, both internally within an organisation. As I said, some large firms do use internal consultants, and also externally if you were setting up yourself as a consultant or as a business owner. So the benefits for the students are, starting at the top there, career progression and personal development. You should be able to not only have a qualification, but also to be able to prove that you can make a positive impact on business growth. And you'll have both the tools to use it, and by taking the assignments, you'll have the ability to show that as well. Networking is a key part of this qualification. One of the reasons we are running this by a residential class and also by a series of webinars is to encourage networking and what's often called peer-to-peer learning, which is learning from other students. All the people will be there will be at a similar level. They will all have an element of experience that they can explain. So we will be providing tools and help to help you to do that. Obviously it gives you professional recognition and status. The mere fact that we have so many of you signed up on our webinar, and I'm sure our competitors have the same, shows that there is a huge amount of interest in this new qualification. And we know that it was developed in conjunction with employers and therefore should be a very useful qualification to have if you're looking to work for international organisations, for example, or to change roles. I'm very sorry, we've got use of PG DIP initials, it's actually DIP-M. That came through after we put this slide together, so I apologise about that block. It does give you credit towards a master's degree. It will help you to build business strategic and leadership skills. I wanted to finish with, I can see questions are coming in and I can hear Lauren typing away with answers, so I will come to questions in a moment. I just wanted to leave you with a little bit about the Cambridge Marketing College. After all, you've come onto our webinar, so it's nice to tell you a little bit about who we are. As I said, we've been around for 25 years. We are more than a college. We do qualifications. We have a faculty of 45 tutors. And we are currently looking at which of those faculty will be teaching this course. We do offer specialist pathways, though not currently for this qualification. That will come later, once we've, as you can understand, once you launch the new product, and then we will start to introduce specialist pathways. We have a press arm which publishes our own materials, which we will continue to do. We also have a highly regarded journal, the Cambridge Marketing Review, which you would receive as a member of the as a student. We also have a radio show, which I have a personal interest because I present it. We run a series of events. We are involved with the Cambridge Digital Marketing Conference, which will be its 11th year this year. We run webinars. There will be general webinars that cover general skills, such that we now have webinars that are just sort of open, come and ask us a question. We also have webinars on specific items such as how to submit your assignments and exam techniques. But clearly there will also be webinars specifically for the new Marketing Leadership Programme. We have an annual event. We have networking events. And we currently have a book club that may morph into other things into next year. And we do have a strong corporate side, which you would probably expect us to have. But we do run programs in-house for corporates, as well as running open programs. I put in our social media channels so you know how to find us. We have a strong and vibrant LinkedIn group. We are also on Facebook, and we are very active on Twitter at CMC Points of View. Right, I'm going to answer a couple of questions now that I saw coming through. Is the residential element included in the cost? Yes, it will be. The intention of the residential element is to make as much use of the weekend classes as possible, and also to make certain that students will be able to work on a case study over the course of the evening. The reason we're going for a case study is because most of you are working at a senior level. You therefore may or may not be comfortable revealing information about your own company. So we are developing a specific case study that you can all work on that will therefore not have any elements of confidentiality. We will initially hold weekend classes in Cambridge because we've got to look, that's our launch event. And as I said, the dates are the 25th and 26th of February. We will then hold weekend courses elsewhere, and in fact you asked about Edinburgh, Karen, that will in fact be the second centre that we roll it out to, and then we will look at other areas. The attendance at the weekend course will be mandatory. However, the rest of the teaching will be done by blended and distance learning, by blended learning because you've attended the weekend. We may be able to launch a purely distance learning option in the future, but at the moment, to begin with, we will be launching by blended learning with the weekend class followed by online support. I've got a question saying, I've heard a lot about building up technical skills. Is there any part of the modules that focuses on soft leadership skills? There are indeed. Let me see. I've actually got in front of me the full syllabus. So let me just pull that out. Soft skills are the very first module, the contemporary challenges, the first module that we will be teaching. A third of it is given over creating insight, vision and direction, which is very much the soft skill of innovative thinking and creative thinking, and that will having peer-to-peer learning and other student learning will help you to develop those creative ideas in a very safe environment. There is also an element in consultancy. There's a huge emphasis on how to develop a personal brand and how to facilitate change in a client's organisation. And included in that are soft skills about helping you to put your message across and ways of selling your ideas to a client organisation. In the mandatory module, the soft skills are around creating change in cultures, which often require a sort of gentle, softly approach, and the ways that you can do that. And then finally, managing business growth is the one with the most soft elements, because it does include the leadership side, which is what your specific question was about. So there is a more emphasis on the leadership skills that are required. Yes, there is accommodation for the residential. I'm sorry, I should explain. Our Cambridge classes, no, you don't have to rough it, Karen, and we don't stick you in sleeping bags. Our Cambridge classes are held at the Muller Centre, which is part of Churchill College. The Muller Centre is certainly the UK's leading a conference venue, if not Europe's leading conference venue. They'd certainly like to aim to be that. The accommodation there is beautiful, and I must admit I have tutors queuing up to teach at the Muller Centre because the food is so wonderful. There is definitely no element of roughing it whatsoever. I wouldn't expect people to be able to study 2 days with any element of roughing at all. Lauren, you've been to the Muller Centre and had lunch there. Would you like to say what you feel about it?
Yeah, it's very nice. I can completely stand by the statement that it's worth going for the food.
So no elements of roughing it whatsoever.
No.
Rough timetable. I don't know for the Edinburgh classes yet, Karen. Until we've launched this qualification, I'm not really certain. That's why we're aiming for the Cambridge classes first, partly to assess demand, as you would imagine, as a marketer for a new module. I would anticipate that we would be doing it towards the latter end of the year, and we would probably start again with the we would probably start with one of the mandatory modules, so possibly run contemporary challenges again in Edinburgh, having already run it in Cambridge, because then we take the experience of teaching it in one area and put it to another. Are there any other questions? Oh, sorry, yeah. Okay, I have a specific question which I'm going to read out because it's quite a detailed one. How much importance has been given to digital marketing in this course versus the previous postgraduate? Digital marketing is becoming increasingly important. Absolutely. The digital marketing as such isn't specifically mentioned because it's no longer seen as digital marketing separate to marketing. Digital is just now part of marketing. In the same way, we would no longer say, I'm going to put together a social media campaign. You would talk about a marketing campaign with all the elements, one of which would be social media. So I know what you mean about the current postgraduate diploma, which doesn't mention digital at all. This one just assumes that digital is part of the mix in the way that most of us deal with it in the work environment. Do I have any other questions? Okay, I have put up some contacts there so that you know who to contact if more questions come to you afterwards. I'm Kieran Kapoor at the top there. Shane Minat is our operations director. Angie looks after our administrations, and Lauren, who's been answering the questions, and is sitting next to me. Sorry, we had a slight hiccup with the slides there. I beg your pardon. If there are no more questions, then we will finish there, and we can deal with anything else by email afterwards. Thank you all very much for attending. It's been lovely to see so many people interested in the new qualification, and I wish you all success with it.